This is one of those movies that is just, it just stands the test of time.
1985 is having a moment, with the Breakfast Club cast reuniting at C2E2 in Chicago and BuzzFeed revisiting iconic celebrity looks from that year. It's a great time to take a closer look at the movies that defined it. 40 years later, we're revisiting the blockbusters, the flops, and everything in between. The current state of Hollywood is dire, with the Marvel machine slowing down and Disney remakes no longer reliable at the box office. Studios are scrambling for fresh stories, but even movies with original screenplays like Mickey 17, The Alto Knights, Novocaine, Fly Me to the Moon, Horizon, and American Saga Chapter 1, and Megalopolis have struggled to turn a profit.
These diamonds mean nothing to me.
But it's not like this is a new problem. In fact, Vincent Canby, film critic for the New York Times, was lamenting the state of movies way back in 1985. In May of that year, Canby wrote, "If the rest of 1985 measures down to the first 4 months of the year, the movie business could be dead by Christmas. Not in recent memory have there been so many movies that have gone so quickly into oblivion, leaving behind only their titles, little piles of ashes that signify nothing."
You're off.
Heavenly Bodies, the dancing, rockin', reach for a dream movie that won't stop until it takes you to the top.
Canby's prediction proved accurate for many films he mentioned in the article, including Heavenly Bodies, DEFCON 4, Sylvester, Hellhole, Fast Forward, The Hit, The Slugger's Wife, Movers and Shakers, Little Treasure, Almost You, Rustler's Rhapsody, and Gotcha.
Gotcha.
However, he also saw reasons for optimism, enjoying films like Albert Brooks' Lost in America, John Schlesinger's Falcon and the Snowman, Woody Allen's The Purple Rose of Cairo, and Desperately Seeking Susan.
Susan! What are you doing here?
I got good news and bad news. What do you want to hear first?
The latter, starring Rosanna Arquette and Madonna, whose massive success occurred right after the movie was filmed, was initially released in only 268 theaters, which was increased to 1,108 as it picked up steam and word of mouth spread.
I don't believe it.
Another unexpected hit included Pee-wee's Big Adventure, directed by first-time feature filmmaker Tim Burton, which played in theaters for months and grossed $40 million. On the other hand, the biblical epic King David, starring Richard Gere, struggled when it was released in March 1985. According to Variety, business was down 49% for King David on its second weekend in 731 theaters.
The law of Moses is not renowned for its impartiality towards heathen races.
The law of David shall deal justly with all men, Hebrew and heathen alike. On that I give you my solemn oath.
King David, this new biblical movie that stars Richard Gere as a King David who was so serious, so solemn, so self-important, and so laid back, it's hard to figure out how this guy ever got a movie made about him.
Other box office disappointments included Perfect, starring John Travolta as an investigative journalist who goes undercover at a health club, and Jamie Lee Curtis as an aerobics instructor he becomes romantically entangled with. Quentin Tarantino later called it woefully underappreciated in a 1994 Rolling Stone interview.
Has he gone nuts? I sat through every disgusting frame of this film. Twice.
It was a banner year for teen movies that ranged from mildly successful to gloriously forgettable. That list includes Vision Quest, Porky's Revenge, Mischief, Heaven Help Us, Teen Wolf, Tough Turf, Fraternity Vacation, Moving Violations, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, My Science Project, Real Genius, and Weird Science.
She's alive! Alive!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Canby also throws shade on Pumping Iron 2: The Women, a documentary about female bodybuilding. He writes, "Then there are movies that are slightly easier to remember, but for all the wrong reasons. Unless one responds to overdeveloped musculature, the way a Buñuel hero might respond to shoes, what really is there to say about Pumping Iron 2: The Women? Well, one thing to say about it is that it's a really entertaining movie and a fascinating time capsule.
Oh my God. I hate it when people say, Jesus, God. God has nothing to do with them not being able to complete a repetition.
While Witness, Mask, Police Academy 2, and The Breakfast Club were big hits, the real game changer was Back to the Future, released in July 1985, 2 months after Canby's article was published. It would go on to become the highest grossing movie of the year, earning a staggering $212 million domestically. Canby closes out his thoughts on the movies released in 1985 by writing, 9 intelligent films in 4 months might not actually seem such a poor showing. Most people in this country don't go to a movie theater 9 times in 4 months anyway, but 9 intelligent films out of the 126 released is a grim statistic. Decades later, the struggle to create original, audience-captivating films persists, proving that in Hollywood, some storylines are stuck on repeat.
Coming March 29th, whether you want them to or not.
It truly is Back to the Future. It's worth noting that after the article was published, 1985 saw the release of such classics as Cocoon, The Color Purple, Return to Oz, Out of Africa, Commando, Jagged Edge, Clue, Brazil, and The Goonies. That's a pretty incredible slate of movies. And that brings us to the end of this video. What do you think? What are your favorite movies from 1985? And what lessons can modern filmmakers learn from the successes and failures of 1985's diverse range of movies, from blockbusters to indie darlings? How does the current state of Hollywood with its reliance on franchises and remakes compare to the concerns Vincent Canby raised about the movie industry in 1985? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.